Hey guys, Katie from the Kate Show blog here. I found a nice little spot here. I'm about to set up and make a video, and today I'm bringing you some tips on how to be more confident in your photos, how to feel more confident in yourself so that that can show in your photos, so that your travel photos go from being like meh to yes, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna set up and then we'll get started on some tips. I guess I'm going for the dewy look today because it is hot. So the first thing I want to stress is that your confidence isn't something tangible. It's not something that can be given to you or sold to you. It's your own inner work, you know what I mean? So just saying that to be aware of that train of thought when you're thinking you could find confidence with a skinny tea, or like losing a certain amount of weight, or buying a certain outfit, or doing your makeup a certain way. Those things, like, you know, getting in shape can help, and feeling nice, like wearing a nice outfit, they can help, but that's really not where the answer is. That's kind of like a band-aid on the broken leg. So we want to address the broken leg, and that's what I'm going to be getting into today. But if you were thinking like, oh, I'll be confident when I lose 20 pounds or whatever, just with respect, like, you're wrong. That's not how it works. So we're going to get into some real tips that will actually help. First tip is a mental tip, and I think if you've watched enough of my videos, you know I always hit the mental tips first. I'm a big fan of like doing the work and getting like actual results from actual work, not just like, oh, stand this way and you'll feel confident. Like, no, let's do some real work, let's do some real inner work. And the first tip is just to accept responsibility, that your confidence is your problem. You know, it's your responsibility to fix. The onus is on you, and it's not up to anyone else. It's not up to the world to change. It's not up to someone to give it to you or anything like that. It's your responsibility to fix. And that seems harsh. Like, I know that seems like a harsh thing to say, but to me that's like so empowering, because it means you're in control of it. Like, nobody can change your confidence. Nobody can affect it. Like, you're in control. And yeah, you have to do the work, but like, you get the results, you know, and you can build that rock solid foundation. So I think that's empowering, that you have control of it. I think it's not good or smart, you know, to leave that in the hands of, oh, when this person gives me a compliment, or, you know, when I get this job or whatever. Leave it in the hands of such variables that are outside forces, you know what I mean? Don't leave that. I mean, it's good in a way, because then you can get the confidence without having to do on the work. Like, oh, if Dan compliments you, you know, you can feel confident or whatever. You haven't really done anything. But it means that they also have the power to take it away. You know, like, these outside forces have the power to take away your confidence. And I think that's dangerous ground, you know what I mean? So accept that it's your responsibility. Put that power back in your own hands, and commit to working on it. It's a daily thing, you know, you'll work on it forever. But don't leave it in the hands of other things, because then as life changes, you might gain a few pounds, you might lose a few pounds, whatever. Your job might change, your income might change. All these things can change. People can come and go. And it won't matter so much, because you'll have that rock solid foundation of the confidence is in you, you know, and you have the power to cultivate it. So that's the first step I think is worth addressing, is just take on that responsibility, give that power back to yourself, give yourself permission to work on it and commit to it. And that's when you get the real result. Right, I just started editing the vlog and going through the clips, and I realized I really forgot to mention this. But if we are talking about confidence and building your confidence in everyday life, like doing that inner work, I really can't miss mentioning that you're gonna build that confidence, and you're gonna build it really fast by facing challenges, doing things that intimidate you, doing things that scare you a little, doing things that challenge you, and overcoming them. And then little by little, you're going to keep overcoming things and get a lot more confident. So it doesn't mean you have to go and book a skydiving trip for tomorrow, you know, but if you want to go skydiving and that's been something that you've hesitated and held back, then that could be a good option. But otherwise, just little things in everyday life. Think about things that you're kind of holding back, you're too scared to try. Going to the gym for the first time, you know, joining a new club, talking to people to make friends, or whatever it is, doing that hike, wearing that outfit, whatever it is, those things that scare you a little and intimidate you, start doing those, and that you're going to build your confidence so fast. You'll be a new person, I promise, because that's where like that real that inner strength and that inner confidence comes from, is facing those hard things. So I didn't want to forget that. I'm going to squeeze it into the video where it fits. And now back to editing the video. So number 2 is just to look at celebrities. Now these people have teams of people working to make sure they look the absolute best they can, so you can get all those free tips from the professionals just by observing them and looking at what they do and how they do it. So one thing that's good is just to do a Google search, find some celebrities that have a similar body shape to you, like figure out what your body shape is, then find celebrities that have a similar shape to you, and then just do a Google search on what they're wearing and really pay attention to how they dress, you know. And of course, I say similar body shape, but they're probably going to be, you know, a lot more toned and a lot more skinny than what we are, I guess. Like my similar body shapes is kind of a mix between Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez and Kate Winslet, if they all got together and had one body. Mine's somewhere like around there, but obviously a lot chubbier. So it doesn't have to be like the exact size, but just look at the shape of their body and figure out who has a similar shape, and then Google search them. And you just want to look at like what cuts are their outfit, what cuts are they doing a lot of open necks, a lot of high necks, a lot of short shorts, a lot of, you know, sort of longer skirts and pants. What cuts are their outfit, because all their outfits will be accentuating in a way that makes their body shape look the best. So look for those things. Look for what types of fabric. Is it really loose and flowy a lot? Is it structured a lot? What types of fabric are they wearing? And then where is it tight and where is it loose? What are they accentuating and what are they not? So you can look for things like that. You can even look at colors, like if they do a lot of plain colors in one area and bright colors in another, they're probably, you know, hiding one part and accentuating the other. So you can look at those type of things, but just get all that free tips and free advice from celebrities, you know. That's a good way. And another one is just to do a Google search for your body shape, how to dress for your body shape, and that way you can get even more tips. And once you know how to dress for your body shape and you know how to accentuate things, like, you'll feel better, and then once you feel better, you look better in the photos. So it's a really easy tip, is just learning about your body and your shape and how to dress for it. So one thing you could do is go back to that celebrity that has the same body shape and just Google them plus red carpet photos, because they are taught how to stand best for their body shape, and they will teach you a lot just by sort of copying them, and you can practice a few of them out at home. But another thing that you can do is just understand that photography is all about just like lines that you're making, you know. It's about light and lines. So it doesn't matter what your body shape is. If you stand like this, you become a rectangle. Like, you have just become a rectangle shape because you've made this rectangle shape. And I don't think that's very flattering for anyone, especially women. And I also don't think anyone's like, oh wow, that rectangle's really sexy, I want to look just like that. So simple shifts, like just putting your body weight on one leg and then having some distance between your legs, or you can sort of bring one together and forward or out to the side. You've put weight on one leg, which is going to give you like a bit of a curve. You can make a line here just by the hand on the hip. That's made a nice line here, and it's going to also show this part a little more and accentuate that. So you can just make different lines. Like, this is a much more flattering stance compared to this. So, and it's just by creating lines. So think about what lines you're trying to create and what shapes you're trying to create, and just practice a few, like this. You can do this. I don't know, but just think about what lines you are trying to create. Another thing you should know is that lines are also created in the clothing you wear, where the end is. Like, this has created a line on my arm. This has created a line here going from fabric to fabric, 2 different colors. The end of my shorts creates a line. So there's lines everywhere, and generally you don't want a horizontal line like this on your biggest parts unless you want to accentuate them, because it's going to make them look bigger. So just keep that in mind. You want to try and keep the horizontal lines off your biggest part if you're, you know, a bit uncomfortable with them or not super secure. So let's say you have big thick legs, for example. You kind of want that line to be like slightly above the widest part of your leg or below. You don't want it on the widest part, because then it's making the widest part look even bigger. So same if you have big calves and you don't want to bring attention to them, go above or below, never like on the biggest part. So you can think about things like that as well. And another thing just with photography is anything closer to the camera is bigger. Anything further away is smaller. So think about that when you're standing. If you sort of have a big hips or something and you don't want to make it look as big, you can tilt backwards a little bit, and it's just a subtle shift, but it's just gonna sort of even things out if you're a little bottom heavy, because this will appear bigger, this will appear smaller. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you're standing on the side, I have really big arms, you know, and I'm not super comfortable with them, but if you're standing on the side, it's closest to the camera, so they're gonna seem bigger. So that's why you probably wouldn't see me in this kind of pose, you know what I mean? But if you're on the side in a group photo or something, you can sort of angle back a little or keep it down, just sort of like give yourself a tiny bit more distance between you and the camera. Little things like that, just being aware. It's really just being aware of yourself, what you're wearing, and then how photography works. There's little optical illusions. Just to go back, things to create more flattering lines in your photos. Think about like long dresses. They're very flattering because it's creating one seamless line, and it usually they usually like cinch in somewhere so that it, you know, can have a flattering shape. But like a long seamless line, that's really good. If you have pants on, a lot of time people think to make the shoes the same color as the top or the bag or something like that, just to be coordinated, which looks really nice as well. But if you want to make your legs look longer, you can make your shoes the same color as your pants, and it's kind of an optical illusion to, you know, give the illusion of longer legs. So it's really just about being aware and trying different things. And for this stuff, you really have to like stand in front of a mirror and like figure out how to stand, you know, without it looking awkward, because nothing worse is like seeing photos and someone's like this, you know, it's just unnatural. So you can do these tilts and still look completely natural. So you can just practice in a mirror, I guess, for that. So a quick break just to let you know that we have a sponsor for this video, which is pretty exciting. I'm excited about that. And I know so many influencers and celebrities and whatever, they just take sponsorships for anything, even products they don't even use and brands they don't like, just to make a bit of money. And that's not what we're about here at KSB. So obviously I have integrity, I wouldn't do that. So with that being said, do your balls get sweaty? I know mine do. And that's why I use Fresh Balls by Fresh Body. Pause for effect. Cue laughter. So that was obviously just for comedic effect, but we are sponsored by Fresh Body today. They do have a product called Fresh Balls, and they also have this one for women called Fresh Breasts. So it's summer, it's hot as balls out here, and if you are a sweater but you also love outdoor adventures, and if you are maybe on the little thicker side where things rub together, you know, thighs are rubbing together, titties are rubbing together, whatever, you want to get yourself some of this. I have a link in the description. It's my affiliate link, and we also have a code to get you 10% off. 10% is nothing to be sneezed at, you know what I'm saying? If you are sneezing at it, you probably have seasonal allergies. You might want to get some Benadryl. But yeah, you can use this stuff. It's going to apply as a cream, but dry as a powder. So you're going to get that powder effect, the powder dryness, but without all the mess. So that's handy. Also, since it is a cream, it's easy to just put in a travel size container and take with you on adventures or for traveling. So that's really handy as well. So yeah, check them out. Thank you for supporting the sponsors that support my vlog and my work, and get yourself 10% off this stuff. So I checked the ingredients, and it looks like the exact same ingredients for both of these. So I think it's just the same thing, one with masculine marketing and one with feminine. But if you are trying to even save a little more money, you could just buy like the 3-pack of one or the other and then share it with your partner, because it seems like the same thing. Just a tip. We're all really excited that somebody showed up while I'm talking about balls and titties. Alright, we might move to a new spot. Okay, the next one seems really obvious, and it is, but it's worth being said, and that is just to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Be healthy, because when you take care of yourself, you feel better about yourself. Your worth is higher because you're worth being taken care of, you know, and you're setting that standard for yourself. So your worth increases, you feel good about yourself, and that confidence shows in photos, because you can't fake confidence. It's so easy to tell. If you're scrolling Instagram and someone's like acting like they're really happy or having a great day or whatever, and they're not really, it shows. So just take care of yourself, and that will help improve your confidence in daily life. as well as, you know, getting your photos. And your confidence in daily life is much more important than any photos anyway, but this will help. Now, there's not one diet that works for everyone, but eat healthy, nutritious food most of the time. Like, keep treats as treats. So eat those foods that make you feel good from the inside, not like feel good from that dopamine rush of, you know, crack foods like sugar that gives you that rush, but just foods that make you feel good and healthy. Exercise. It's so important, and it doesn't mean you have to like slay yourself at the gym for 2 hours and be in pain for a couple of days, but just go for a bike ride, go for a walk, do something to move your body, get yourself moving, do some yoga even, just do something to get yourself moving and take care of that body physically as well. It's very healthy for you. And your mind as well. Like, taking care of yourself is your body and your mind. So if you find yourself like mindlessly scrolling for a couple of hours a night, or just watching TV for a couple of hours of night, that's just like not healthy for your mind, you know. Maybe just do a little bit of that, but then add in some other stuff as well, like read a book, learn something, keep your mind active, meditate, write in a journal, do some yoga or something to activate your mind as well, and take care of that mental side of your body as much as the physical. So those things, it seems so obvious to say it, but just taking care of yourself sets a high standard that you're worth taking care of, and you're the only one that can set that standard. And when you take care of yourself, you will feel more confident, you will attract people, you know, who recognize that standard, and you're just gonna feel better and look better. Another tip when it comes to getting photos is, if you feel yourself getting like anxious or tense, if you're the type of person that gets in a photo and then sort of like tenses up and the eyes go big and the body goes stiff, if you do things like that, short circuit your brain. You just have to change its thinking, and to change its thinking you have to do something different. One easy trick, it seems so dumb, but it's so simple, is just smile. Like, once someone's like, hey, you're like, hey, can you take a photo of me? And then if you usually like, just smile, like just smile, and it feels dumb. You can even fake laugh. Or another thing, if it's really hard, is just think of a really, really, really fun memory, a memory that makes your heart smile, and think of that, and it'll show in your face. It's just gonna relax everything. It's gonna trick that brain to be like, oh, we're not anxious right now, we're happy. And it'll show in the photo, you know what I mean? So just short circuit it like that. If you get really stiff, so many people do, they just sort of like go really tense. If you're like one of those people, just shake it out. Like, just do this, like even if you look a bit silly walking over to get the photo, but just shake for a second, and it's just a trick for your brain to like change its way of thinking. So just a quick shake, and don't stand still also is another tip. If maybe you're not confident with just shaking around, just don't stand still when you get in the photo. Try and like take some steps or something, just to keep yourself moving, because you just want to like short circuit that tension. It does seem silly, but like at one of my jobs when I was in customer service, my boss would make us smile when we answered the phone. So we had to like, phone rings, we smile, and then we pick it up, because you can hear it in your voice. Like, it tricks everything, and it works like once you're like, thank you for calling, you know, when you're already smiling, and it works in taking photos as well. So that's a little trick to help you out with that. So another tip, and it goes in line with these ones, is just knowing your strengths and your weaknesses and accepting them without judgment. So the longer you go on feeling like things aren't good enough, or they're wrong, or whatever, the less confident you can be, because you have a feedback loop of like negativity. So the only way to overcome that is like a radical self-acceptance, or radical self-love. That's what Sonia Renee Taylor calls it. She has a book. If you need some help with self-esteem and accepting yourself, she has a book, An Apology. But just knowing your strengths and weaknesses and accepting them without any judgment. They're not good, they're not bad, they just are. It's you, you know, and you're made up of, you know, positive and negative. So just accepting yourself as you are, like that acceptance and awareness of your strengths and weaknesses, that's going to help you feel more confident. Again, it goes back to nobody can give you confidence by like saying you're great at something, but they can't take it away by saying you're bad at something, because you'd be like, well, I already know, that's not my strength, you know, but my strength is this, so I can be confident in that, and maybe I'm working on my weakness. In terms of your personality, you should work on that for like your daily life confidence. In terms of photos, It's just knowing how you look good and maybe how you don't look the best, or you don't feel the best when you see that photo. It's knowing your strengths and how you feel good when you see that photo, and then knowing when you're like, oh, when I look like that I don't like it as much. And that can just help you feel more confident in the photos, because you know what to do to make yourself look the best. But like I said, you should do that for daily life as well, and sort of self-assess your personality as much as your, just looks for photos. Ugh. The last one I have for you is to compliment yourself every day and make that a daily practice. And it sounds a little woo-woo, but it's true. Like, your brain's so smart, but it's also so easily tricked. And sometimes we're in that loop or that pattern, that way of thinking of like recognizing our flaws before we recognize anything good. And we have that self-talk narrative of like, too big here, too small here, not good enough, this person's better than me at this, or this, I wish I could fix that. That negative self-talk loop. So you just have to break that pattern and start complimenting yourself every day. And I recommend like trying it in the mornings, because then you're setting that tone for the day. But just say like, don't have to say a lot, just start with one, because if you do have that really low self-esteem at the moment, one might be like a challenge to get to every day. And I've been in that place, so I know it can be. But just start with one every morning. You wake up, you're brushing your teeth or whatever, one compliment. There's definitely one compliment in there about you. I guarantee you, you're not that bad. So just start with one every day and start training yourself to like see the good things as much as the bad. You have good and bad, but I think sometimes we're just so trained to see the negative and be so critical of ourselves. So one thing every morning, I want you to commit to that. Compliment yourself. Hey, this looks good. I feel good, because of this. I did this today and I'm proud. Whatever that is, it doesn't have to be physical. But give yourself a compliment every day and make that a daily practice. Right, that's it for today. Time for me to cycle home. But I'm really interested to hear like which one of those resonated with you the most. So if you want to leave that in a comment, that'd be cool. And otherwise, if you got any value from this video at all, if you can just hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already, it really helps the YouTube algorithm know that my stuff is valuable and worth showing to more people. So that would be a big help. And otherwise, I will see you next time. And also, don't forget to get some of that fresh body stuff. Okay, bye.